Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Okay, if you've been looking at kitchen appliances lately, maybe browsing online, you've definitely hit this wall. Air fryer or convection oven?
Oh, yeah.
They both sound amazing, right? Minimal oil, super crispy food, cooks faster. It's like the dream. But figuring out which one actually fits your kitchen, your life, that's the tricky part.
It really is, because on the surface, they promise similar things. So our mission today, let's just cut through the marketing hype.
Please.
We're going to dig into the core differences, the stuff that actually impacts how long things take to cook, how much energy you're using, and how well they perform day to day.
Yeah.
We want to help you figure out which one makes strategic sense for you.
All right, let's start with the tech because
Yeah.
fundamentally they're cousins, right? Both use hot air that moves around.
Exactly. That's the core principle. But how they move that air is totally different.
Okay.
Think of the air fryer, the AF, as this little countertop rocket. It's got a heating element, sure, but its main weapon is a really powerful fan. And that fan is designed to blast air at high speed within a very small space, usually that perforated basket. It's like a focused convection furnace, basically.
So intense speed in a tiny box. What about the convection oven, the CO? That feels more like the family SUV.
That's actually a pretty good way to put it. Yeah. The CO, whether it's built-in or countertop, is designed for evenness across a much larger area. It has a fan, and usually an exhaust system, too, to circulate air more gently throughout the whole cavity.
Right.
The goal there isn't just raw speed. It's about getting rid of hot spots, making sure everything cooks evenly, maybe across 2 or 3 racks at once.
Okay, makes sense. Let's tackle the big one then.
Yeah.
Health. Everyone wants the healthier option. We know they both beat deep frying, obviously.
Oh, by a mile.
But is one genuinely better for you than the other?
When you really compare them on health grounds, the great news is they both do incredibly well at reducing fat. You're talking, 70, maybe 80% less fat than if you were deep frying something?
Yeah.
You often just need a tiny bit of oil, like a tablespoon, sometimes none at all, for that crispiness.
That's huge. And what about nutrients? Because they cook faster. Do they, preserve vitamins better?
Well, possibly. Because the cooking time is shorter than a regular oven, they might help hold on to some of those heat-sensitive vitamins and minerals. But honestly, the biggest health win is slashing the oil.
Right.
The key thing, no matter which machine you use, is just not burning your food, not overcooking it.
Okay. But here's where it gets a bit murky, and I bet listeners are thinking this too. Acrylamide, that chemical that forms with high heat and starchy stuff.
Yes, that's a really important point to bring up. Acrylamide is potentially harmful, and it forms when starchy foods, think potatoes, bread, get cooked above 248 Fahrenheit, that's 120 Celsius.
But hang on, air fryers are all about high heat, right? 375, 400 degrees for speed. Doesn't that make them riskier because the heat is so concentrated?
That's the logical question, definitely. And yes, you are often using those high temperatures in an air fryer. But the research shows the risk isn't just an air fryer thing. Both air fryers and convection ovens can produce acrylamide. It seems to depend more on the temperature you choose and, crucially, how long you cook it for, rather than the specific appliance.
So it's not the machine, it's how you use it.
Exactly. If you crank the heat and let things get really dark or burnt, you've got that risk in either oven. The advice to minimize it is the same for both. Don't burn stuff.
Okay.
Maybe soak potatoes in water first to get rid of some surface starch. And, just consider using slightly lower temperatures if you can.
So the health verdict is, it's pretty much a tie. Both cut fat way down, but you need to be mindful about not charring your food in either one.
Precisely. Smart cooking habits matter more than the machine itself for health.
Okay, let's talk time and money. Speed. That's a huge selling point, especially for weeknight meals. Who wins the race?
For small amounts, the air fryer is just, unbeatable. Its secret weapon is that super fast preheat. We're talking 2, maybe 3 minutes.
Wow.
Because it heats up instantly and the chamber is tiny. It cooks food maybe 20-30% faster than even a conventional oven. Chicken wings, for instance. Maybe 20-25 minutes in the AF versus 35-40 in a regular oven.
Right. Now, a convection oven is also faster than a regular oven, maybe 25% faster, but that preheat time is the killer, isn't it?
It totally is. A big CO, even a decent-sized countertop one, can easily need 10, sometimes 15 minutes just to get up to temperature.
Yeah.
So for just one or two portions or a quick side dish, the AF is generally going to be faster overall because you skip most of that waiting time. AF wins for speed on small stuff.
But the second you need to cook more, like for a family, that changes everything.
Completely flips, yeah. If you're feeding 4 or 5 people or doing multiple trays of veggies, the CO saves you time because you do it all at once. Trying to cook that much in an air fryer means doing multiple batches.
A nightmare.
Which totally wipes out its speed advantage. So scale becomes the deciding factor there, not just initial heat up time.
Scale matters, and so does the energy bill. Let's get into efficiency. This seems like an area where the AF might really pull ahead.
It really does. And the difference in power draw is pretty stark when you look at the numbers. Air fryers are quite efficient, usually running somewhere between, say, 800 and 1500 watts.
Okay.
And because they run for short bursts and heat such a small volume, the actual energy used is low, like maybe half a kilowatt hour, 0.5 to 0.8 kilowatt hours for a typical 30-minute cook.
And the convection oven, I'm guessing quite a bit more.
Significantly more. Full-size built-in convection ovens can pull anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 watts. Even the countertop COs are often in the 1,500 to 2,500 watt range. Add that longer preheat time, heating that big box, you're easily looking at 1.5 to 2.5 kilowatt hours for a similar cooking session.
Hold on. Let's just highlight that. You're saying for cooking something small, reheating pizza, doing a couple of servings of fries, the air fryer could use up to 50% less energy than firing up the big convection oven.
For those small to medium jobs, yes. That's what the data suggests. 50% is a massive saving, especially if you're using it daily for quick things. It makes it less of a gadget and more of a smart energy choice long term.
That's a really powerful point.
Yeah.
AF is the clear energy winner for those quick everyday tasks. Definitely something to consider. All right, let's move into actually using these things, recipes. Because the heat works differently, you can't just follow standard oven instructions, especially at temperature, right?
That's absolutely right. Because the air is moving so efficiently, things cook faster and brown quicker. So the general rule of thumb for both AF and CO compared to a regular oven is knock the temperature down.
How much?
About 25 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 15 Celsius. That just compensates for that forced air, stops the outside burning before the inside is done.
Okay, 25 degrees lower. And for the air fryer specifically, you mentioned the intensity. Does that mean check it sooner too?
Definitely. Because that heat is so concentrated in the basket, you really need to start checking for doneness earlier, maybe about 20% sooner than the recipe time. You're swapping space for speed, basically.
Gotcha. So if a recipe says 400 degrees air for 30 minutes in a convection oven, I'd set it to 375 degrees air and check around 25 minutes. In an air fryer, 375 degrees air if again, but maybe you start peaking after 22 minutes.
Exactly. You need to be a bit more hands-on with the AF timing. Which brings us neatly to capacity. This is often the make or break decision for people.
Yeah, the size difference is obvious.
Air fryer capacity is, limited, typically 2 to maybe 10 quarts max. It's brilliant for 1 or 2 people, maybe up to 4 servings for some things. Perfect for those quick weeknight meals for a small household.
But if I'm trying to roast veggies for the whole family plus a chicken, I just can't physically fit that in most air fryers, can I? Batch cooking just isn't practical then.
You absolutely can't. The moment you need to cook in batches in an AF to feed a crowd, you lose the speed advantage, you lose the energy advantage. The convection oven is built for volume. Roasts, turkeys, multiple trays of cookies feeding a larger family or guests, that's its territory. It's the capacity king.
Makes sense. Okay, just quickly, how do these compare to the other ovens we might have? Like the standard regular oven?
Right, the regular oven, the RO. It mainly uses radiant heat, which tends to be slower and can have hot spots. AF and CO definitely beat it for speed and crisping, but the RO is still the best for really delicate baking some cakes. Breads just do better with that gentler heat. And of course, it has the biggest capacity overall.
And the humble toaster oven. Because lots of those say they have air fryer convection now. It gets confusing.
It does get confusing. The lines are blurring. Modern toaster ovens often do have convection fans. They give you more space than a basket AF, and they're way better for actual toasting or broiling. But if your absolute top priority is getting maximum crispiness on things like frozen fries or chicken wings, that dedicated air fryer with its super powerful focused fan usually still has the edge. It's specialized for that one job.
Okay, crystal clear. So we've covered the tech, health, speed, energy capacity. Let's boil this down. Who should actually buy which appliance? Give us the choose if you scenarios.
Oh, let's nail it down. Choose an air fryer if you mainly cook for 1 to 4 people. If saving energy is a big priority, if you need meals on the table fast on weeknights, if achieving that ultimate crunch is your main goal, or if you reheat leftovers a lot and want them crispy, not soggy.
Okay, that's pretty clear. And the convection oven?
Choose a convection oven if you're regularly cooking for 5 or more, if you do a lot of baking, if you often need to cook multiple dishes at the same time, if you roast large items like whole chickens, turkeys, big cuts of meat, or if you entertain frequently. Basically, if capacity and versatility for larger meals are key.
And realistically, the ideal setup, if you have the space and budget, might be having both, right? Use the AF for the quick daily stuff, the CO for the big jobs.
That's often the perfect combo, yeah. And whichever one you have or get, a few tips help get the best results. For the AF, number 1 rule, do not overcrowd the basket. Air needs to circulate.
Crucial.
Shake or flip the food halfway through, and don't skip the short preheat. It makes a difference.
Good tips. And for the convection oven?
Use pans with low sides, not deep ones, to help the air move. Leave space between dishes on the racks. Don't block the airflow. And remember that temperature rule.
Yeah.
Always reduce recipe temps by about 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
Excellent. So the big takeaway here seems to be neither one is objectively better. It's about matching the tool to your actual life. Speed and efficiency versus capacity and scale.
Exactly. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. Take a look at the appliances you already own. Understand their wattage. Think about how long you actually run them for different tasks. Knowing that baseline helps you make smarter choices about energy use for everything, even just reheating lunch. It turns buying an appliance from just a purchase into like a strategic kitchen decision. You save time, you save money.
That's a great way to frame it, thinking strategically about your kitchen energy. Fantastic. Well, thank you for breaking all that down for us. Hopefully you now feel much better equipped to choose the right hot air hero for your kitchen. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.